the chaos in Afghanistan as U.S. troops head back into the country to secure Kabul's main airport. Thousands crowded onto the tarmac in a desperate attempt to get away from the Taliban. 640 people crammed into a C-17 military plane, and tens of thousands are still waiting to evacuate. Senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell is in Kabul with the latest.
This morning, the flight from Kabul in one stark image. A US military cargo plane reportedly carrying 640 men, women and children, all fleeing Afghanistan for their lives as the Taliban seizes control. The humanity and generosity of the crew as a child clutches a toy a pilot's given them. Desperate crowds had been rushing the runway, trying to get on board planes, even clinging to aircraft as they taxied for takeoff. This morning, rapid evacuations underway for Americans in Afghanistan. Nearly 3,500 troops now at the airport, resuming operations hours after being forced to stop flights to clear the tarmac. So far, the State Department says 2,000 people have been evacuated from Kabul, the US prioritizing American personnel and citizens. But thousands of Afghans, desperate for their turn, people who risk their lives to help the US mission. The Taliban now guarding the only way into the airport and so far letting only foreigners pass. The group declaring they're in full control, setting up checkpoints throughout the city. Pentagon spokesperson John Kirby telling George earlier the US has control of the airport and those evacuations will continue.
What about those 30,000 Afghans who need to be rescued? We've seen these heartbreaking pictures of people chasing the planes, packed into planes. What is the latest on them? When do we expect to have everyone out?
We plan on being on the ground there in Afghanistan for the next couple of weeks. It's not just about moving out Americans. It is very much about meeting our moral and sacred obligations to those Afghans who helped us over the last 20 years, getting as many of them out as we can.
As the chaos plays out on the ground, President Biden insisting that bringing U.S. troops home is still the right decision.
I stand squarely behind my decision. After 20 years, I've learned the hard way that there was never a good time to withdraw U.S. forces.
And Ian Pannell joins me live from Kabul now with more on this. Ian, the Taliban is now saying they're declaring amnesty across Afghanistan. What exactly does that mean?
Well, what it means in theory is that they will not go after people. There won't be revenge attacks. They've ordered their fighters not to go into the homes of people, to behave well. They're saying that they want women to return to the workplace. They want them to be part of the new Afghanistan, that they shouldn't be afraid. I mean, the Taliban have been on really an incredible PR blitz. In fact, they're about to hold a press conference in the coming hour. They've also said to foreigners, to diplomats, please don't leave. The messaging that we've received, certainly on the streets from the Taliban, has been very, very welcoming. They're saying that they want us to stay. They want good relations with the neighbors, even with America. They, in other words, don't want a repetition of the original Taliban regime, which was isolated internationally, was under sanctions. It was a very, very different country there, very underdeveloped, badly damaged by the civil war. Today, it is very, very different. Young Afghans who've known nothing other than life not under the Taliban expect something very different. Everyone has a smartphone. Taliban even taking selfies with us. Everyone's running around taking pictures, posting them to their own social groups. So there is a hope that the Taliban are true to their word, that there is a chance here to try and remake Afghanistan, not in the old mold, but perhaps also not ideally in the previous government, but in something that is in between, that is perhaps tenable to some people. But that's what's promised. The reality remains to be seen. The proof of the pudding is going to be in the eating. Still, many women are hiding behind closed doors and afraid to come out. I mean, even anecdotally, here in the hotel, all the female staff who were on reception the day we arrived, they haven't been seen since. I've just been chatting to people saying, look, at the moment they're just staying at home because until there's real control by the Taliban and they actually enforce these rules that they say they're going to abide to, then people are just going to vote with their feet. And there's still a fear, there's still desperation by all those thousands who work with the Americans just to try and get out.
All right, Ian Pannell in Kabul. Ian, thank you. Stay safe.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.